Unscripted.
In keeping with my general theme, and again, I'm sure a lot of people are going to go, what, he's doing a positive Xbox thing again? I could sit there and lie and act like this wasn't a big deal, but honestly, it's quite a big deal, and this is exactly what myself and Mooch and others were talking about that Game Pass needs to do to really attract people like ourselves. It's not that it wasn't a good deal, it's that for us personally, getting smaller like AA titles and indie titles day and date wasn't that big of a deal in terms of attracting people. So I do think that that's something that, you know, a lot of people are going to be talking about. Now, here's the very interesting part from what I can tell, and this is something that I find very, very interesting, and I'm sure that you guys might find it to be interesting too. You know, for me personally, I find that, you know, and I've been saying that it would take a big day and date third-party release to kind of prove any kind of interest for me personally, and they needed to do this to compete. Why wouldn't they do this? You know, they got a lot of money, and it seems like they want, you know, people to buy these games, and these games always tend to do better on PlayStation. Well, now you have a proposition where a game is, you know, what, $60, $70 on PlayStation, or, you know, you buy a box of Twinkies and you can play it on Xbox. Now, this is something that I think is very, very interesting going forward. It can definitely change how we do things. I mean, to get a day and date game like this is a huge deal. Like, I could sit there and fake like it wasn't, but to be honest with you, I wasn't 100% sold on this game. But the fact is, I probably, if I was going to buy it, would have bought it on PlayStation 5. This accomplishes exactly what Microsoft was talking about doing, right? This is exactly what they probably want out of this. I want to get started because there's a lot to say. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys are looking for a way to help out a crappy little channel like mine, the best way to do it, simple like, you better believe it. Not only is that the best way to kind of appreciate a content creator, it's free to do. So think about that for a minute. It is absolutely free to do, and you know, again, I really just count on you guys for doing that, so I appreciate it. With that being said, shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. I really do appreciate each and every one of you as well. So anyway, as you guys might know, there's a new game coming from Square called Outriders, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass day one on April 1st. So again, this is huge news, right? I don't care which side, like, listen, people can think I'm a PlayStation fanboy or whatever, but this is pretty interesting stuff. Now, as you guys know, I have Game Pass locked in almost through 2023, thanks to being able to upgrade my gold that I already had existing for $1 one time, and I was able to do this. So this is huge and very interesting stuff. Now, starting April 1st, they assure you it's not an April Fool's Day joke. Xbox Game Pass for console and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can jump into the true next-gen or true genre hybrid from Square Enix, which combines brutal combat with deep RPG systems. Outriders is set in the distant future, while players attempt to colonize a planet that they believe to be a new home for humanity. Turns out the planet doesn't want them there. A mysterious storm called the Anomaly burnt out all the tech that's more advanced than a light bulb, hyper-evolved the wildlife into ferocious monsters, and colonized efforts broke down into a bitter war of attrition for the last remaining resources available for humanity. So you can play this game single player or co-op with up to 2 friends as you combine skills, speed, and a frenetic attempt to survive a savage future in this aggressive third-person perspective RPG shooter. And don't forget, it's fully crossplay. So explore Enoch with any of your friends on any other platform. So even if your friends were to get this on PlayStation or whatever, you would be able to play with them because it's crossplay and things like that. Now, I downloaded the demo on PlayStation 5 and I didn't get a chance to play it yet, but it's very interesting. And you have to remember, we're in a pandemic year, so anything that we get that actually releases this year is kind of a big boon. And a lot of people, including Mooch, that I know of, really enjoyed what they've seen from this game so far. So yeah, this was very, very interesting to see it actually kind of come to fruition. Now, the interesting thing on my part is, you know, it's funny because when you play it, there were incredible rumors over the weekend that Microsoft scooped up the third-person outing for the Game Pass serving, meaning subscribers will just be able to download it for quote-unquote free as part of their monthly fee to our knowledge, this is basically the first time that they've actually netted a day one big third-party release outside of like the double A's and some of the indies and stuff like that. But whatever the case, with the PlayStation version coming in at a $59 price point, this title looks like an impressively bad value on Sony systems right now. So is anybody, if you have both, are you interested in purchasing this on Xbox? I mean on PlayStation, even if you have Xbox and Game Pass? I think that this is really setting a precedent. Like Microsoft going in here, like it's very surprising, right? I find this to be incredible surprising that they actually went out and did this. If you guys remember, like I said, I've downloaded maybe 2 games from Game Pass the entire time I've owned it, and I think that it's it's one of those things where, you know, people are just going to have to kind of understand. Now, you're going to see a couple different type of reactions to this. You're going to see probably reactions from, you know, hardcore PlayStation fans where they'll probably belittle it or whatever. And then you're going to see probably, you know, like just people that are gamers like me who think, hey, you know what? I think that this is a bold strategy by Microsoft, and this is a big move by Microsoft. And for them to be able to pull this off and to get this out there is a huge thing, especially given that they haven't really launched anything this year on their console really worthwhile. And if you think about that, that's something that I think a lot of people are going to be probably talking about. Okay, so you know, Sony has launched games and they have games scheduled this year. Microsoft not really, outside of Halo. So for them to be able to snag a big day and date launch like this, I think is a pretty big announcement. And I think that it also could, you know, accomplish what Microsoft wants, which is, hey, somebody that maybe was going to get this on PS5 now is going to play and maybe subscribe. Now, of course, it doesn't change their subscription thing for me, but I'm going to download the game for sure and, you know, give it a try out and things like that. Again, I think this is where the huge difference comes into play, and this is what more along the lines it needed. I can remember a couple of years ago, we were doing, I think, an M&C Mornings or something like that, and me and Mooch were talking, and we were talking about how the Xbox Game Pass service needed something big day and date. And at the time, I remember him suggesting, kind of off the cuff, some of the Bethesda games, because those games tended to drop in price really quickly anyway. And he was like, you know, like Evil Within or Evil Within 2 or like a Wolfenstein or Wolfenstein 2, because those games tend to really just not really do well long term. Like, and he was right, and that would have been a huge get. I mean, they ended up buying Bethesda in general, but you know, this is a pretty significant piece of gaming news. I figured I would cover it. I know a lot of people probably won't give a crap. Hey, whatever. I mean, listen, people can, like, for me personally, I see some of the snide remarks and stuff. I did a video about, hey, my channel is not doing well, give me some advice. The main advice that I got from people was, don't be fanboyish, you know, try to, you know, cover positive on both sides. That's what I'm trying to do, and, you know, hopefully some of the good people out there understand that. I appreciate the positive stuff that I got from you guys and the positive remarks and things like that. Of course, there's going to always be kind of the other side to that coin, like the jerks and stuff like that, but I just kind of wanted to point out that I very much appreciate the ones that put, you know, that positivity out there and, you know, gave me actually some good advice and stuff like that. It's almost like starting over again, so I understand the numbers aren't going to be there right away, but I'm doing my best to kind of pay attention to what you guys want. So hopefully that's what works out best for you guys, you know what I mean? And I think you guys are awesome, and I really do think you guys are fantastic at supporting and things like that. So really, it means a lot to me that you guys are out there kind of, you know, doing this stuff for me. So again, this doesn't, and the whole flip-flop thing or whatever, let me just kind of bury this, and this is going to be the last time I'm going to say this. I did not speak my mind and be honest about the lackluster stuff that Xbox was doing, only to not enjoy the fruits that it pays off down the road. Now, this is something cool. I'm looking forward to trying out Outriders. You know, I think that's going to be great. Obviously, Microsoft has well-funded the developers and everything for doing this, right? Down the road, you know, a few years from now when Fable's out, I'm going to play it. I hope it's great. If it's great, then I'm going to say it's great. Like, I don't understand what people want from me sometimes. It's like, I feel like sometimes people want me just to hate on Xbox because they think that's all I do, and they don't think that I've been warranted in my criticisms over Xbox over the years, which hasn't been true at all. You know, obviously my criticisms have 100% been true, and you know, now that they're starting to kind of listen and come together, I think that's great. This is what competition's all about, folks. And you know, I'm sorry if some of you guys, you know, if you don't want to get your news from me, go someplace. There's going to be plenty of other places. I have kind of turned over and kind of started doing something, having fun with my content, doing the kind of content that I want to do and that I'm having fun with. And you know, if you guys are on board with that, great. If not, then I apologize and move on. But with that being said, this is big news. This is the type of stuff that we've been talking about for a long time, and I would appreciate your guys' feedback. I'm going to link this. Are you planning on downloading the game? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.